Namaste. I hope you're all doing well. I've been receiving a fair amount of queries on how we can cope and deal with negative emotions. Emotions such as stress, anxiety, sadness, etc. So over the next couple of minutes, I'm going to try and share with you a few techniques on how you can cope with these negative emotions better. Over years, we've observed that creatures or organisms that have lived together in a group have done well. There has been safety and security in numbers. Take the examples of school of fish, pride of lions, flock of birds, herd of cattle, etc. Similarly, man too lives in a community or a society. And for man to be able to do well in this community or society, he should be able to understand the people around himself, and he should be able to be understood by the people around him. So what does it take for one to connect with a human being on an emotional level? Create a real connection. I believe that a real connection comes by being aware of yourself first. So if I'm aware of what my state of being is or my state of emotion is, then I'm in a position to manage my emotion. So if I'm not aware that I'm angry or sad or depressed, etc., then I will not be able to manage it. So clearly, step number one is awareness. And how does one get aware of their emotion? Now, one of the simplest techniques of getting aware of your emotion is by sitting quietly and observing your thoughts. So you sit down, close your eyes and contemplate and see what's going on in your head and observe it carefully. See perhaps if you're feeling angry or feeling excited. The excited is also an end of the spectrum where you're super excited or very low. So these are ends of the spectrum. And I believe that both being at either end of the spectrum can't be very healthy for you. So what we need to try and do is to try and create some sort of an equilibrium where you're not really excited all the times or unhappy. So you should try and create some sort of an equilibrium. And this creation of equilibrium can only happen when you're aware of your emotions. So get into the habit of contemplation and observing your thoughts. If observing your thoughts is difficult for you, you can maintain a diary and write down how you truly feel and read it the next day or after an hour of writing, and then see what is the mood or the emotion in your writing. These could be a couple of steps that you could take immediately to create awareness of the emotion. Once the awareness of the emotion has been created, the next step really is wanting to be emotionally stable. So how does one be emotionally stable? Do you feel that if you get excited or angry or sad, the best way to deal with this emotion is to simply hide it? It's like when a guest is coming to your house and you sweep the floor and hide all the garbage under the carpet. It's a bit like that. So the WHO recently talked about the role of stress in modern day disease. Now, stress is usually a mental thing. It's a manifestation of the mind. Having understood that, if stress is such a big deal in modern society, I think we need to take this really seriously and start working upon ourselves so we can reduce our stress and thereby live a healthier life. So, you've got negative emotions or positive emotions. If you consider excitement a positive emotion, so you've got these whole bunch of emotions. You don't want to showcase it. You keep hiding it, shoving it under the carpet. Time's going to come when you keep hiding this emotion and playing that poker face. The time's going to come when the load of the emotions within you is so high that you tend to just snap or break. I mean, the manifestation of that emotion could be a physical manifestation. So it could be a backache or fever or blood pressure. It could be anything. So the next step really is, do you choose to use your awareness now to become a more emotionally stable being? Do you choose to live a life with more balance and equilibrium? Or do you choose to live a life with the ups and the downs and the ups and the downs and say that such is life? You know, it's normal for me to be excited and normal for me to be depressed or sad. That is life. Or would you like to choose to live a life with greater balance, emotional balance, where you understand the prudence or the importance of being emotionally stable. You understand the correlation between emotional stability and physical well-being. WHO, in a recent survey, said that most modern-day ailments are because of stress. So when we undertake or we undergo stress, what happens is the body releases a set of chemicals to cope with the stress. Traditionally, you would get into a fight or flight mechanism, where there is certain chemicals or hormones produced in the body which gets you ready to run away from a life-threatening situation or deal with it, But I don't think many of us are running away, like physically running away or dealing with that situation. So those chemicals remain unutilized in the body, and eventually they manifest into some sort of a physical ailment. It could be blood pressure or a cardiac issue or common colds. You keep getting the flu over and over again. I mean, there could be a whole bunch of diseases that you have. So once you're aware of your emotions and you've chosen to be emotionally stable, then it comes down to choosing some sort of a mechanism that's going to help you cope up with the stress, which is going to help you balance your emotions. There have been tried and tested techniques such as yoga, meditation, or some ancient art form, to help cope with the stress. But you don't have to immediately dive into meditation and yoga. I'm not trying to sell meditation and yoga here to you today. I'm trying to tell you that you could do something as simple as sitting down in the outdoors and just gazing at the sun rising or setting down, or going for long walks, or playing a sport that you enjoy on a regular basis, not just once or twice a week, but regularly, maybe five times a week or every day, where you take some time off consciously to work on yourself. You take some time off consciously to relax yourself. You take some time off to contemplate and deal with some of the mental fluctuations. Because if these are undealt with, then I told you, it's like a levee or a dam where the water keeps getting collected and these emotions keep getting collected too. And there comes a point where the dam just breaks and there's a mess, a flood. And that really is something that we should try and avoid in that flood sort of a situation. So once you've chosen a mechanism for yourself, and this could be a mechanism of your choice, then the next job really is to ensure that you keep yourself motivated every day to be an emotionally stable being. So once this practice is a part of your day-to-day life, what is going to happen is you begin to work towards being an emotionally stable being. You begin to live a healthier life. You begin to understand yourself better. You begin to understand people around you better. You begin to communicate with them better. And you feel good and you feel happy because you feel at balance and in equilibrium. So once you manage to embark upon this journey, it could also bring you a reasonable amount of success. And there are various parameters for success, but you could choose your parameter and try and achieve that. I hope you found this chat useful. I wish you all a healthy life, emotionally stable life, and I wish you the very best. Have a beautiful day ahead. Namaste.